Staring at the Sun, Chapter 7, Burning Man. My old friend fell off the face of the planet in 2018. He deleted his social platforms, and I stopped searching for clues. There was no clues. Why? 'Cause he disappeared. This is when, also a disclaimer, I hate this book. I've cut it almost down to a third because I want to be done with it. I'm only doing 10 chapters and everything past Staring at the Sun, so that way I can get through my chapters. Um, and then that way they can be combined with the lessons and it's easier to get through. So I've cut this down from 100,000 words to 17,000 because I want to be done with it. I am a much better writer now, but I have to get through this. This was my beginning, and where you're at in your beginning, you need to love yourself in the beginning. I wrote this in a psychosis, so I'm reading the back and forth to show how much improvement I have done. But I can't change it because it's really a part of my storyline, and the end won't make sense if you don't know the beginning. So the beginning is very much I'm in a psychosis, and everyone is a villain. I'm a villain. Me and my ex-husband. My ex-husband was he was a good man, and we both were mentally unwell, and he's being a great dad, and I'm so happy for him and his new life and the relationship that he has. But back years and years ago, it wasn't as easy, but we're on the other side of it. But as I read it, I'm nowhere in this mindset anymore. Nobody is. So I have a pretty serious mental health diagnosis that a lot of understanding it is in my writing and my work and my earlier stuff. So I'm reading my earlier stuff, and while I'm writing my new stuff, I'm having a really good day today. So moving forward. This is when I just let it go. When he is gone for good this time. I pushed him away and hard enough that he went to the other coast. And even though it has goose egg to do with me, it felt like he was gone forever. Since he was not on my timeline every day posting something that felt directed at me, I just started to forget about him. I was a busy person. It's not fair to my ex-husband to be with another man in my head. Day in and day out, I stopped, I focused within. I had to. My marriage was falling apart. I fixated so much on this is an update. I fixated so much on my old friend who I ended up using his name Jesse because I felt that Jesse was in my computer and that we were doing a spy game. So that's why I wrote about him incessantly and tried to make everything in my life go back to him. When I lived like all of my life, not really thinking about Jesse, but when he came into my life, I felt as if it was like this really big, important moment in my life. So I fixated on him, and almost all my early works surround him until the very end. My ex-husband lost his high-paying job. The day before, we flew out to North Dakota for a vacation at the Yellowstone National Park. When I was at the waterfall in Yellowstone in 2008, I had a flash of memories of my old friend. This was over Labor Day weekend. This is the week of his birthday. This year, 2018, my old friend's mom had a car accident. His mother's car accident was the reason he was in town in December 2020. He was helping his mom recover from a car accident caused from alcoholism. He gave up everything to take care of his mom. He has how much he loves his family is a huge reason why I love my old friend. My relationship with my mom has been strained because of my mother's addiction. Alcohol being most used, and we both do not fall far from our mother's trees. The car accident was his wake-up call, and my wake-up call was the year as well. I was not drinking, it was food and my sadness. His addictions, he confessed in the park. He said he had severe alcoholism when he lived in Portland, Oregon, which he thought My life was perfect. Why? Because illusion of social media. I thought the same about his life. We low key both know that we did not. We both we low key both know that we did it on purpose, which is damaging to us both. My life was far from what it appeared on social media. I was slowly dying from sadness. My wake up call happened while standing at a waterfall, thinking how embarrassing it would be if I got care flighted off out of a mountain in Yellowstone because of a cardiovascular event caused from being overweight. You don't need commas and stuff. Like, commas are optional. When I got a flash of memories of my old friend standing at the waterfall, this was likely brought on because of the last photos of him were him hiking on the mountain with his new girlfriend. And I laid in my bed of regret. I laid in my bed of despair of regret. Now I'm making those same memories that he did when he moved. However, I did not have the love that it seemed like to have in his. I thought how nice it would be to feel love like that. When I started walking up 1,000 feet incline, I was 270, and this was not good. This was going, and this was not going to be a good time. I went to La La Land and thought about the ass in the basement, any basement, when I was in high school. Back then, I thought I was fat, but I just had a fat pretty hot and tempting, reminding myself that I have a fat and not a fat after one too many emotional cries about body image in high school. As any girl, as a young girl, I could not get Eric horned up for me, later revealing I wasn't his type. I just assumed that it was because I was fat and everyone wanted girls that looked like Paris Hilton. I look like the rowdy Kardashian cousin. She smokes more she smokes more and she won't have elective surgeries to fix her fupa. What is a fupa? An update. I would have elective surgeries to fix my fupa, and if anyone ever makes fun of my fupa, I love my fupa because it's a part of me, and my weight's been 300 pounds to 180 pounds, and that fupa is my love, is all my love there. So I have much more body self esteem now. But anyway, she smokes more and she won't have elective surgeries to fix the fupa. What is a fupa? You know, ladies, when you get all them kids and your stomach gets a pouch, that's a fupa. We all have a fupa. It's a part of having kids. The point of the story is that my backside was not popular in the early 2000s. Being skinny was popular, and anything of shape or jiggle was not cute. So my backside would not stay in my pants because the clothes were designed for skinny girls, and therefore I wore men's clothing in high school. I am a girl, and I love. This is terrible. I love my cousin, Mr. Misfit. My cousin, Mr. Misfit, always made me feel better about my fat, and we were raised like brother and sister. He used to run into my bedroom in the same trailer we grew up in. My old room was my room. He would come in there and bother me, and sometimes I would wake up from a nap with his backside on my nose, and I would chase him and beat his backside. However, sometimes he would find me crying over my body image, and he would comfort me by reminding me, "You're not fat. Just 'cause you got a fat backside stays." Then he slaps my backside until I cry, and we start fighting. He would put me into a wrestling move to get me out of my crappy mood, and it worked. And we would load up in pickup trucks to go get some chicken nuggets in Blanchester, playing me music that they don't play in church. And I often go back to those stories when I'm feeling bad about myself. You're right, 'cause I'm not fat. Just 'cause I got a fat backside. So thanks for the confidence boost, I would say to myself as a grown woman. In 2018, I was real fat. This wasn't just jiggly backside fat. This fat was terminal. Oh, I tried my hardest, didn't I? I did it though. I had to find. It's funny though. I enjoy them. It's funny. Will it ever get published? I don't know, but I'm working hard. I had to find solution. I needed to set goals to get to the solution of healthy. Last time I lost weight, it was size, simply to be a smaller person, not even worried about the cost to my overall health that it would cause. I needed to get well and stay well. Diets do not work. You must change your lifestyle. To get well could not be about being desirable for men. At the time, I had already lost 100 pounds. Now that 100 pounds came back and it felt like emotional weight. My emotional weight from years of avoidance. I gained and lost 100 pounds from 2008 to 2018. To have gained it back, this was soul crushing. The love I receive in my marriage decreases when my weight increases. Although feeling unlovable, I knew the last time I lost 100 pounds was not going to work this time. I knew that I was broken on the inside. This break wasn't going to be fixed with 10,000 steps a day. I need to fix my head. I needed to eat well and be well, not to be smaller. This jump started my quest to find happiness. I knew to be happy, I knew to be joyful, I knew that I had to make some big changes. However, there's no blueprint to build joy. By the time I made it to the top of the hill without dying, this was an energy surge. I needed to refocus. I had a boost of encouragement to myself. I knew that I had lost the weight once, I could do it again. However, the weight needed to stay off. This meant dissecting my life to remove barriers to my overall health. I was obsessed, and no one had a magic wand to bring me back to my factory settings. I had to do it for not my ex husband, not my old friend. I had to do it for myself. Mostly, I had to do it for my son. If I was unhealthy, he would lose me sooner. This meant health and wellness was the most valued goal, not to just get my fat backside back, even though I think good SEX is the best motivator for health and wellness. You look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you want to have the good SEX. Listen, I worked in OBGYN, so I was trying to write, I don't know, which is the big carrot to a healthier life. Sexual health is a hush hush. We are all trying to have some of that good sex. So why don't we talk about it? It's kind of confusing. Working in family medicine, having a group of girls that spent their entire careers in OB, the lunchroom chats were fun, to say the least. Sexual health is to be maintained, and if you do not maintain it, you lose it, just like any muscle in your body. I'm going to end the chapter with working in family medicine and having a group of girls that spent their entire careers in OB. The lunchroom chats were fun, to say the least. Then it's going to take me to chapter 8.